Congratulations, you just got your new S23 series phone, probably the Ultra, like I got right here, and you might be wondering what are the things you can do to set up and optimize this phone to make it the best it can be. Maybe you've never used a Samsung phone before, or maybe you're just not, you want to know what extra things you can do to make the experience even better. And we're going to do that now. So the first thing you want to do, very simple. It's actually three things combined into one. Make sure you have a case, a screen protector, and a charger. And you're probably saying, okay, I don't need a case or a screen protector. It's a beautiful phone, especially if you got the red, you got the sky blue, you got the lavender. However, one, cases can look nice, and two, you just got a $1,200 phone. You probably don't want to mess it up. So some options are, of course, the Samsung ones, and this is a Samsung official leather case. I love this case. It was a no-brainer for me. I used my credit to get it. It looks nice. It really contours to the phone well. It doesn't make it look overly bulky. It doesn't make it feel bulky. Great case selection. Also the silicone ones as well through Samsung. Those are top notch. And if you're looking on Amazon, I've got a couple links in the description, but the Spigen ones, usually I buy Spigen. Spigen makes some really good cases. So that's your first thing. Your second is a screen protector. I ordered a film style screen protector for mine. Anytime I have a Samsung Ultra Series phone, I always use a film style. Why? Because you get complete coverage on the phone. It still works really well with the under the screen fingerprint sensor. Samsung has the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, so it actually works really well. Make sure you have a screen protector. The glass ones are okay, especially the white stone dome glass, but typically when you get a glass one, it's only sticks on the edge. So it's an edge adhesive, and they don't always work the best with the fingerprint scanner. So that's why I get the film style one, and also it still preserves the original typing experience really well too. But you can go with either or, just make sure you have one. So screen protector, case, make sure you have a good charger. So here's the thing. This phone charges at 45 watts. If you've got an older phone from Samsung, one, if you've got one in the last 2 years, you don't have a charger that came with it, so you're probably using an older charger. And if you have one from a couple years ago, it's probably 18 watts. This phone charges it up to 45 watts. And I've got a link in the description for the preferred charger that I used, but make sure you have one, and if you have one that charges at 45 watts, it's going to charge the fastest, like twice as fast as if you have a 20-watt charger, right? So you might want to have that. So case, screen protector, charger. That's the first thing. Now, the next thing, we're going to dive in and go to the screen. I'll show you exactly what to do next. First things first, you want to go into your settings. So you can go to your quick settings menu here. So swipe all the way down. If you use earbuds with your phone at all, swipe over. Make sure you have Dolby Atmos turned on. Dolby Atmos turned on right here will give you a much better sound experience. Trust me. Listen to it with it off, and then listen to it on, and you'll thank me later. And a lot of people use this phone, they don't even realize that it's an available feature that's on here. So this right here will definitely improve your audio quality of life. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into display settings. So we've got a couple here in the display settings we want to be aware of. They're going to make your experience better. So display, right here. This should carry over from your previous device, but if not, you've got the option for light and dark mode. Dark mode is going to preserve better battery life. So I prefer to leave it there, but if you have it on light mode, you can see nice, bright, illuminated screen. It's going to be harsher on your eyes, especially at nighttime. Or if you wake up in the middle of the night, it can be pretty bright, especially since this goes to peak brightness, 1750 nits. So make sure you set that how you want it. Brightness. If you have it on adaptive brightness, you get higher peak brightness, and especially if you go outside, it'll really crank it up to where you can see a lot better. You can do this either way. I like to leave mine off. I prefer it that way because I like to have a consistent brightness all the time. I don't like sometimes it's lower, sometimes it's brighter. You got to mess with it. Theoretically, it can give you better battery life, but I like to leave mine off. But you can mess with that. Also, extra brightness. And this right here, it gives it a little extra boost, but at the expense of battery. So you want to go next, you want to go into motion smoothness. So in here, it should already be on adaptive. So adaptive, it's going to give you the 120 hertz refresh rate where it's going to bounce around. It can throttle all the way down to 1 hertz, which is nice. But if you put it on standard, you can have 60 hertz all the time if you don't care for 120 hertz. I think most people probably bought this phone to enjoy the 120 hertz experience, but make sure you have it turned on, make sure it's enabled. Just a little thought-provoking thing there to let you know, okay, this is what's going on. So this is a big one. A lot of times out of the box, even if you have the previous phone on 1440p Quad HD Plus, I transferred my settings over from my S22 Ultra, and sometimes Samsung will change them on you. And this is when it always changes out of the box. It will default to FHD Plus, which is 1080p plus. Quad HD Plus really is going to be the best way to maximize the screen experience on this phone. So move it over to Quad HD Plus and then hit apply, because it's going to be like this out of the box. And it's kind of frustrating. I know they do it to try and make it look the same and to give you extra battery life, but if you're spending all this money, we've got the extra battery benefits in this phone, all those crazy things, make sure you turn that on, put it on Quad HD Plus, and you'll thank me later. So next thing, also inside of here, camera cutout. Now, you may or may not care about this, but if you can see here, there's a peephole cutout camera, right? So it looks like it's up there, the peephole cutout. Let me go ahead and go back into the settings. I'll show you something. You can actually hide the camera cutout. So if you want to hide the camera cutout during certain apps where it's annoying and it gets in the way, you can actually add this bar there. So like, let's say I'm playing Boom Beach, I can have it hide the camera cutout. So what that's going to do is if I play Boom Beach, now instead of seeing the camera notch over there, you get the little black bar on the side. So it does kind of, it crops the screen and moves it over just a little bit, but you don't have to worry about having that dot in the middle of the screen. So I'll go back and I'll show you what it looks like with it. Do auto there. So now it's going to restart the app. And so this is what it looks like. You have a black dot in the middle of the screen. So if you don't want the black dot in the middle of the screen, you can hide the camera cutout. You can set that up for individual apps, and it's kind of a nice thing. It might work out in some apps for you if you actually care. A lot of people don't even know you can do that. Just wanted to let you know that is an option and a possibility on there, and you can do it basically for any app. So another thing, screen timeout. I like to leave mine on 5 minutes. So what this does is basically it turns the screen off when you're not doing anything. This does preserve battery life. So if you're not like me and you're not recording and making videos all the time, maybe you might want to have it on a minute or 2 minutes. I don't really recommend 15 to 30 seconds because essentially as soon as you get done doing something, you set your phone off to the side, the screen's going to turn off on you. You got to log back in, like unlock it and all that great stuff. So I leave mine a little bit higher, but again, this is going to be a battery thing for you. Just make sure you set it how you want it comfortably. Now, this right here, navigation bar. So it's set up out of the box, probably how you transferred it over. But if you set it up from new, I'm not sure if it does navigation bar, if it does buttons or swipe gestures. Some people still really like this. Some people like to have the menu, the back, and the home button down on the bottom. And then, of course, you can change the order down here as well. I prefer swipe gestures. I've been using swipe gestures for a long time. But if you don't know, if you want to mess with it and try it out and then go back, you just go to the display settings and go to navigation bar, and you'll be good to go. Now this one right here ties in with the screen protector. So with a film style screen protector, I've never really found I need to use touch sensitivity. But if you use a glass screen protector, you may find sometimes you're pressing on the button, you're pressing on the fingerprint scanner, and it might need you to press a little bit more firm, or it might not work as accurately. Turning on touch sensitivity makes the screen more sensitive. It works better with screen protectors. So if you put a film style and you're having issues, or if you put on a glass one and you're having issues, go ahead and turn this on, because that right there will make all the difference, and it makes it for a better experience. Now, also, I'm going to go to side key. So if you go to side key, you can set this up how you want. So you can set it up for a double press. You can have it where it quick launches your camera. You can disable it, of course, or you can have it where it opens an app. So if you want it to have like load Google Chrome, or if you want it to load your favorite calculator, right? The weather app, you can set that up here and customize it to where it will open basically any app you have on your phone by double pressing the power button. That's cool. Press and hold. You can have it wake Bixby, or you can get the power off menu. So I like the power off menu because this is traditional for me. Instead of pressing the power button and the volume up at the same time like a lot of the Google or a lot of the Android phones, you can have it set up where it does the power off menu, and that's really nice because I really like the traditional way of just pressing the power button and then my power options come up. Otherwise, it's not going to do that, right? So that's an important one that you want to set up on your phone. Make sure you get it set the way that you like it. Also, you want to make sure you have NFC turned on. So I'm not sure if mine was off by default or if it was because it switched over from my settings. If you want to use your Android Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, all that stuff, you need to have NFC turned on. Make sure you turn that on. That's in your connection settings. So that's another thing you want to make sure. And then another one, so always on display. Mine was off by default. Go to AOD, always on display. Mine was off already when I turned on the phone and set it up. I turned mine back on, but with always on display, so it's right here. You can search AOD, always on display, whatever you want. when you go to always on display, you can have a couple different options. Of course, you can have it off. You can do tap to show it. You can have it show always. You can have it show as scheduled or show for new notifications. So you can have it set up for that stuff. Also, you can adjust the brightness. You can have it set up for always on, well, the auto brightness and all that stuff too. But always on display is this. So whenever the screen is off, you'll see things on the screen. And the next thing I want to talk about is the fingerprint sensor. That's probably about the last thing we're going to cover here. But this is the always on display. It does burn up more battery. It doesn't burn up a whole lot of battery, especially now that we've got, of course, the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2. We've got better battery management and stuff like that. So you can turn it on however you want. I like to leave mine on with just the basics. But the last thing I want to talk about is right here, show fingerprint icon. So this is going to take you, let me move this for a second. It's going to take you into your fingerprint security settings, right? So in here, fingerprint always on. If you don't have it always on, you won't see the icon when the screen is off, right? So that means that you'll have to turn the screen on and then you'll have to unlock it that way. I like to leave this on because then you can always see it whenever the screen is off. So you can just go right there and you're good to go. If you turn it off, then, well, you're not going to have that there. And the last thing I want to tell you about it, make sure you set up your fingerprint and your facial recognition. Whenever you set the phone up from the get-go, you're going to be asked to set up, do you want to do a PIN, and then you want to do your fingerprint scanner. It doesn't let you set up the fingerprint scanner and the facial recognition both. So if you set up one, make sure you set up the other one, go into your settings and do that as well under the security settings. And then, yeah, you should have a fully well set up phone, have all these nice, thoughtful things that you want to do. Actually, one more I want to show you. So if you go into the camera settings, right, make sure you turn off location tags unless you want that enabled. Go to your camera settings, and then we're going to go down here to, where is it? Settings to keep. So this is nice. So whenever you close the camera out and open it back up, this will keep it. So if you had it on one camera mode, it'll go back to the same camera mode you had it on. Selfie angle, I like this one. This one, you can have it set between single or multi. So I always like to have it on multiple people in the selfie because I think that up close it's a little bit too much. So if you change any of these settings right here, if you have filters that you apply, or super steady on, portrait zoom, high picture resolutions, normally when you use these features and you close the camera out, you have to turn or re-enable them back on once you go into the camera. But this one's nice because, like, let's say you want it to show up on the selfie camera when you get done, right? Well, this right here, so let's say the last thing we use is the selfie. So the selfie's right here. Well, selfie's right here, right? So, ta-da, hi selfie. We'll close the camera, and then when we open it back up, it'll be right back where we left it. If you don't turn this on, then it's going to default back to the primary camera. So, just some more food for thought. Going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I've been talking for a long time, but these are some really, I think, good, helpful things to do whenever you first set up your phone and turn it on to optimize it and set it up the way that you would like to use it. All right, that's all I got in this video. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it was insightful and gave you some good eye-opening things that you could do for your phone if you don't do these things already, best practices, or just some stuff to overall make sure that you have the best experience possible out of the gate with your S23 series phone. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comments section. I'll get back with you. If you found this video helpful, if you like this stuff, then please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.